Hello friends, welcome to my channel Quiz and Storyline. Friends, I kindly request you to subscribe to my second channel, Video in Urdu. Today, we are discussing a story that begins at an auction, where valuable items are being bid on. Nature of the event, many people are wearing masks and seated in the hall. In the midst of this, we focus on the main character, who is extremely clever and smart. He has successfully pulled off a heist here before. Because of the mask, he manages to conceal his identity. Additionally, there's a hacker, an engineer, and an elderly man who assists them in their theft. All of them are attending the auction. Surprisingly, there aren't any notable cameras installed, making it difficult for the police to keep a close watch. The authorities, aware of the situation, feel somewhat powerless. When Avery learned how notorious this thief was, she planned a mission to catch him. But he was quite sharp, so he asked several questions. Soon, he and his team get ready to act swiftly, aiming to catch the thief red-handed during the robbery. Then we witness what unfolds. The auction has just begun, and it's quite a costly affair. The printing cost reaches up to 1 crore, but it appears to be worth 2 crores. Some people sit behind the auction, stealing the creations before they even reach the customers. These stolen items are then sold in the black market for up to 2 crores. Next, we come to a creation that has had a lot of effort put into it, known as NFT. Since the creator doesn't want to reveal their identity, they wear a mask. This creation is connected to around 200 cameras, which record video, and the best video editing is done. Now the auction begins, and the prices continue to rise. But then a hacker appears, presses a button, and says, "Lift." At that moment, all the electricity goes out, and explosions begin. This creates chaos everywhere. While the rich people think about escaping, a scientific process is at work. A person who has already placed a bid of 2.5 crores comes up to the NFT creator and says, "Come to my place, the NFT will be taken there, and we will make the payment." Watching all this from above is a woman, Avery, who decides to step in to catch them and sends her team into action. Avery and her team run after those. After tricking the police, they find themselves in the middle, where while Avery also arrives. During this, her attention is caught by Cyrus's helper, who is still present. Avery and her team reach to capture him. They discover that the value of the stolen items continued to increase in the black market after the heist. To activate it, they needed the real owner of the creation. So, they bring the creator in and give them half the profit, benefiting both parties. Cyrus's helper is sitting with Avery's colleague, giving absurd answers. "You better tell the truth about your team." He responds, "My team is currently in London. If you want to catch them, you'll have to go to London with me." So Avery and her team set off for the London Police Department. Avery meets another officer there, who informs her that he has found out that the biggest mafia, named Last, has recently manipulated the stock market. This caused prices to fluctuate, benefiting Last immensely. However, the impact was not just on market prices but also caused major changes in the city. Last had spread the dam's water across the entire city, resulting in a flood. Many people drowned and lost their lives. Now, Last is planning similar destruction in another city. Another powerful mafia is involved in this scheme, and the plan will be executed in the next 2 months. Last will make the payment first, after which they'll be allowed to remove the dam's pipes, causing flooding in the next city as well. But this time, Last will pay not in cash, but in gold, and not just 2 kilos, but a whole 10 tons of it. The officer says that we need to stop this plan, and we need your help for that. The officer replies that we need someone who can think like a thief so we can catch these criminals. Avery immediately realizes that the officer is talking about Cyrus. She responds, "No, no. What you're suggesting is impossible. You want me to go to Cyrus and ask for his help, and he will be willing to assist us? That's out of the question." The officer insists, if Cyrus and his team don't help us, who knows how many innocent lives will be lost. You must convince him by any means necessary so we can prevent this disaster. Avery finally agrees and reaches out to Cyrus. They start accusing each other, saying, "You betrayed me." And "I didn't betray you." But eventually, they resolve the issue, and Avery asks Cyrus if he will help her. She tells him everything the officer informed her and says, "You need to pull off a heist for me. You have to steal all that gold." Cyrus shares this with his team, and they are all taken aback. They remark, "This is a tough job, but it has to be done. Because if Last and his team succeed in their plan, the entire city will be flooded, and many innocent lives will be lost. However, this mission is extremely difficult because they have to steal the gold from a ship, and Last's goons will be on board as well." The team now gets busy figuring out how to complete this mission. The hacker suggests that if we can create a ship that is identical to the original, the theft will become easier. The question was, where would they find such a ship? Cyrus then mentions that during the auction, he met a wealthy girl named Mehak who works in train transport. She has a ship that closely resembles the original. If it is altered a bit, it might work. Everyone heads to Mehak, who shows them her magnificent ship. It is indeed beautiful, but it has become old as several LED screens are non-functional, and it makes a lot of noise. Consequently, the dealer refuses to part with his ship. Avery tells him, "I am a police officer, and it is illegal to possess such a ship. If you do not give us this ship, you will end up in jail." Finally, he agrees. Now that they have the ship, the next issue is how to deceive the radar. They need to create a system that sends signals making it appear as if 2 ships are flying, but only one is visible on the radar. However, there is a small problem. When both ships are above and below each other, for a few seconds, both will appear on the radar, and the headquarters personnel will see them. Therefore, they need to place a special person there. Avery says, "I know an officer at the airport who is my friend, he will be there and handle our job." They meet this officer, who is physically disabled and in a wheelchair. He tells them, "I cannot do this because it involves theft, and for a mafia that is the city's biggest criminal, namely Last." Cyrus assures him that he will be rewarded for this task. Eventually, he agrees. The team gets to work, starting the process of modifying the ship. Afterward, a system is developed to deceive the radar. The system is quite large, resembling nothing less than a ball. Avery tells the hacker, "Make small parts of the system and assign 2 to each member so they can install them in different sections of the ship. This way, the job will become easier." The hacker agrees, and after much effort, she creates the different parts of the system. Finally, the day arrives when the team prepares for their respective tasks. They plan that 2 of Last's goons will be seated in business class, while 3 will be in economy class. Now the entire team gets ready to execute their heist. The hacker has hacked all the cameras to keep an eye on every movement. The lockmaster has installed his machine in the bathroom, but one of their teammates got scared and opted out of this mission. Meanwhile, Avery tries to install another machine in the business class bathroom, but suddenly, due to a jolt, the machine slips from her hand and shatters into several pieces. Avery becomes quite anxious because it was essential to connect and reactivate the machine. However, Avery and Cyrus quickly join forces to connect the machine and install it there. The pilot brings her aircraft beneath the large ship and waits for the mission to activate so that both ships appear as one on the radar. The radar at headquarters shows both ships, and an airport officer comments that they should report this to higher authorities. But the officer, who knows about their plan, replies that it might be a minor glitch and will be resolved in a few minutes. Now, only one ship appears on the radar. The officer smiles and says, "See, I told you it was just a minor issue, and it would be fixed quickly." Meanwhile, the lockmaster reaches the lower part of the ship, where a vault filled with gold is located. He places his high-tech machine on the vault and attempts to unlock it, but the goons grow suspicious and try to reach him. A fierce battle erupts between the thieves and the goons. This fight continues on the ship, and during the commotion, the ship experiences another jolt, raising the pilot's suspicions that something is wrong. The pilot informs headquarters, which replies that the weather is bad, and they will have to make an emergency landing. The pilot tries to land the ship, but the landing space is quite small, making it challenging. Finally, she manages to land the aircraft at a small airport. Meanwhile, Cyrus and his companions also manage to land their aircraft there. However, Last becomes aware that their ship has been hijacked and landed elsewhere. Last orders his goons, "Anyone who tries to stop me, eliminate them, otherwise, my gold will be at risk." The lockmaster apologizes to Cyrus, saying, "Forgive me, I couldn't unlock the vault on time, and I couldn't steal the gold. Now the mafia will attack us and proceed with their dangerous deal." With no other options left, the team attempts to take off again through the window. However, Last receives word that their ship has been hijacked, and in anger, he states that his goons will bring the situation under control. Meanwhile, due to headquarters negligence, both ships reappear on the radar, prompting the government to send their fighter jets after them, ordering an attack. The pilot and the team cleverly flipped the aircraft and wrote that the ship was experiencing a hunger crisis, thus requesting not to be attacked. Following this message, the fighter jets refrained from attacking and instead withdrew, tracking the aircraft to ensure the police could manage it upon landing. The aircraft finally lands in the grounds of Last's mansion, wreaking havoc on the estate. Breaking through the security wall, the ship enters the palace, causing gold to tumble down. Seeing this, the mafia woman tells Last that she no longer wants the gold and simultaneously cancels their deal. She starts to leave, but the goons corner her as they pursue her. The police also arrive, attempting to apprehend Last. Last tells the police that this is his own home and that these people are thieves who came to make a deal with the mafia woman. He claims that the real criminals are these thieves who killed the mafia, urging the police to arrest them and quickly vacate his home. However, Cyrus uses his intellect to demonstrate to the police that Last is the real criminal by presenting recordings from the ship's net block and NST creation. The police arrest Last. Avery and the London officer were also part of this mission, aiming to stop Last. Although the thieves didn't gain anything, they had established their skills and achievements. Avery had also become part of Cyrus's team, and Cyrus contemplated giving her a gift to impress her. At the end of the story, a major revelation occurs: the lockmaster had already broken into the vault and extracted the gold. The gold that reached the police was fake, and the real gold had been delivered to their hideout long before. Thanks to their mastermind, these thieves had successfully executed another grand heist. They celebrate their success, embracing one another with immense joy. Their happiness knows no bounds. They prepare for new adventures, and the story concludes here. That's all for today, but we will return soon with another exciting tale. I kindly request you to help me reach 10,000 subscribers on my channel soon. We hope you all enjoy this video and that you will like it. Thank you very much for your loving comments, and we will see you in the next video.